Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Dolores Tarver, and I'm a licensed psychologist here in Georgia, and it is time for the Tea Time with Dr. Tarver is a wellness-based podcast. It is not intended to be a substitute for a relationship with a licensed mental health provider. We are back with our August episodes, the conversation series, and we've got some good topics for you all this month. We've been talking about dating last week with my guests, Japonica and Ebony. Had a great conversation about Black women in dating. We're going to be conversations about grief and loss, as well as a conversation about Roe versus Wade and how that's going to affect us in the community. But today I have a very special guest who is going to be coming on as we have the conversation, resilience and growth, life after lockup. As you all know, if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop them or any comments and we will do our best to try to address them. But you all know I like to get going on time, so let's get into it. I am very pleased to present to some and introduce to others Mr. Artrez Coppins. Mr. Coppins went from being a promising young scholar to being caught up in the street life, notoriously known as G-Block Pookie. He made it his mission to help the community's youth when it comes to the hardships of life. He believes life is all about growing and evolving, never becoming a finished product. Along with his great friend, Damien Williams, they have started a movement and brand called Soak the Game, which focuses on self-enlightenment and self-development. Every day, he wakes up knowing that he must make a difference and use his life as a blueprint to show our youth that no matter what you've done before today, you can still make your dreams come true. Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Tarver, Mr. Coppins.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as we all know, every good story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, or a to be continued. So, if you don't mind, tell the viewers how this promising young scholar got caught up in that street life.
Okay. I'm going to take you to the moment where it all started, basically. So I was off in college, sitting in my dorm, and at the time, it's like before classes actually start. So I'm there for spring training football, right? And I'm having a lot of free time, right? So no class and everything. So every time when I like go back to the dorm room or something, I'm thinking about back home, like my mother there, my brother, my two sisters. And when I left them, we were struggling like badly, lights off, everything. So I'm up here in school and I'm having 3 meals a day and all this, and I'm feeling guilty. Like I'm feeling like, dang, man, I'm supposed to be back there. Like I'd rather be back struggling with them than living like this. So I remember one night just deciding like, man, I'm just going to leave and I'm going to just go all in on the streets and try to make a way for my family. And like, not a legit enough reason to ever go to the streets, but yeah, here we have it. And that's really what like just made me go all in and pursue, I guess, a street career.
You mentioned feeling guilty. So here I am. I've got this opportunity. Were you on a football scholarship?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here you are on a football scholarship at a university.
GMC Milledgeville. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you couldn't even enjoy being there.
Not at all. Not at all. All I could think about was my parents, with my mom and my siblings, and like, and I'm the oldest, so like, and my mom relationship so close. Like we had that where I can talk, I can see her cry. Like we had all these conversations, so we very like tight knit. And at the time, like her boyfriend had just like we witnessed like get murdered in front of us, like probably about like 2 weeks before I left off to go to school. So like dealing with the emptiness of not a man being in the home, thinking about their protection and all this, like, yeah, I was like, man, I need to go on, man up. And then even since I was a child, like I remember staying with my granddad once, and like, and he was staying in Marion County, and he'd give me an allowance. I would take my allowance and give my mom. Like, so I always been one of those trying to put the family on my back type. So yeah, it led me to make a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? Like sacrifice what I got going on for the greater good of everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and my big heart.
Yeah. Feeling that weight. Like, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you feeling the weight of carrying. Like, you know, mom just lost her partner. So you grieving
right
out here trying to go to school and play football, but you still in grief and worried about your mom. How's she gonna take care of my siblings? Like you said, the lights off, like they struggling bad.
Bad. Like, yeah, like we was lighting kerosene candles and stuff. Like, so my brother waking up, he had smut all on the clothes. Like, yeah, just going through it. Like, and we stand in the Follow Home projects. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but
I don't think I've been here long enough to know about them.
Yeah. But it's some projects we got called Farley Homes, and like it was like the whole environment was rough. So I was always around it, but I was always like, I'm gonna be the one to be different and stuff.
I'm gonna get out.
But just dealing with all the pressure, I succumbed to it, and like just feeling like I got to put my cape on. I got to be Superman. I sacrifice everything I got going on to stay straight, and not thinking.
Go ahead.
Right.
But I hear you saying, like, I took on this role because I felt like I need to be responsible. Right. So
definitely.
And I imagine some other kids out there that probably also are feeling some of that weight. Maybe the oldest.
Yeah. Like typical stuff like this tends to happen. A person feels like they got to be the one to go out and get it because they family support it. Like it's rare. Like I ain't gonna say it doesn't happen. Like wealthy families, but most of the time, families that's stuck in poverty and stuff like that. They feeling like, man, somebody got to make some money. Like we need to get this going. So yeah, definitely. That's why I was with it.
Yeah. So it came from a good place.
Yeah.
The intentions were good, but just the road, maybe wasn't necessarily the best option.
Right. And when I made the decision, I'm like weeks before, like I just witnessed my mom's boyfriend get murdered, who was involved in the streets and stuff. So with that mindset, I'm sitting here contemplating. I'm knowing that when I go and if I do this, I got to be all in. Like with the street, ain't be no like. So I'm like, man. So yeah, I went and adopted a whole different persona. Like I mean, I was me, but with the streets, you got to have one of them edges and like you know what I'm saying. You got to harden yourself. I got lost in it a lot.
I was wondering about that because here you are with this big heart, empathetic, thinking about your mom, thinking about your siblings, carrying the weight of the family on your shoulders. You had to have been able to turn that off to be able to, like you said, to be all in.
Definitely.
In the streets.
Yeah, definitely. It hardens you. Seeing death and then knowing what it comes with. You can't trust nobody, and then like you got to shield your emotions. You got to be this person that's so hard. You got to walk around with all this armor on. Like it's exhausting. Like definitely, I'm nothing like all of that glitter and glam that be on TV.
Like that's not really what it is.
Nah, I don't know too many people that's involved in the street. They had an opportunity to better themselves and for their family and get out the streets. They would do it in a heartbeat. I definitely believe it.
So you really went to carrying more weight because now I'm trying to help the family, but then I also got to put on this shell. I got to put on this armor out here too, which is even more heavy.
Definitely. I feel like, and then when you do that, you get lost in the whole persona. Like you become that person. You become everything that you know about the streets, all that. Like you got to because like to last, like you can't be, it's not, you can't pretend with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these people out in witness get murdered in front of me. I lost my cousin due to this. Like all these people that like, and then you feel like you can't trust nobody. Like so, yeah, like dealing with emotions and all that. Like I all that I had to feel like I had to just abort all that. Like I had to be emotionless. I had to be involved. So
got to be hard. I have to, in order, because like you said, I already know the cost of this street life. I've seen all these people be murdered or know of them to be murdered. So I already know the cost is high. So I can't go in here with the same soft empathy caring that I had for my mama and my siblings.
Right. I got to be a whole different person. It's like really like basically living a double life. Like, cause you know, and deep inside, like you want to be passionate, you caring. Like that always been me. Like I always care for people, love people and stuff. Then to have to do a whole like 180, like to just going to being a whole opposite of everything that you believe in, but that's what you had to stand on. Like your morals get different, like stuff starts, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff you would normally be like, like, you know, hey, that's foul and all. It started coming over. Well, that's part of the streets. It's like a whole different code over there. So like, yeah, like it had me really like detached from the rest of the world, like as far as feeling wise.
Okay.
Definitely.
So that must have affected your relationships too, because like, how do you, like you mentioned, like I'm taking care of family. I know people have you know, partners and stuff and kids. So how does that affect you when you've got to have this hard persona out here in the streets and then be able to connect with your family, people you love?
Right. Relationships definitely, it's hard because now you then became this person, and now you like once you imitate and like train yourself to do something, it becomes part of you. So like it's hard to hit a switch and like revert back to, okay, now I'm back, like now that I'm somebody I love, like I'm trying to be in a relationship with a woman. It's like I was dead, like they talking to walls, like I had no emotions. I'm one of the ones that like I didn't have no sympathy. Like it's hard to be empathetic. Like, you know, women need to be like comforted. I couldn't be that person.
You couldn't do it
at all. Like, and then like it goes to a point where you don't even realize like it's so you so accustomed to being this person that you don't even realize how hard and how like detached you are from your emotions. So yeah, a lot of my relationships like that I feel like could have flourished, like definitely
they
like
just
fell by the waistline. Definitely a lot, like. Even,
and you said you didn't even realize you were doing this. Like you just,
it's me now. Like, so you know what I'm saying? It became second nature. Like you put on the mask for so long, it started to look like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what the other person looked like anymore. And that was me. I had became this whole person. Like, and like, don't get me wrong. Like the street life is like that. Like you end up losing yourself. You once you enter that world, like you can't be the same person you was before. Like, there's no way it's gonna work. Like, you gotta adapt a whole different kind of mentality. Like, the people you interact with, it make you see you in a state of paranoia. So, like, relationships, I couldn't go to certain places. I can't be seen like this. I gotta move a certain way. It's, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
I could be in danger, so I can't.
Right. Stuff I done encountered. I done had robbery attempts on me. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I told I seen my mom's boyfriend get murdered or somebody trying to rob me. So I knew that I had to move a certain type of ways. Like, I can't be out in public. We can't just go to the park. Like,
well, I'm trying to have a date and you out here like, no.
I got my gun in my hand. I'm like, it sends you, it makes your partner paranoid like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because I'm gonna be looking over my shoulder too. You looking over your shoulder.
Right.
What you looking for? What's going on? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's tough. It gets very tough dealing with that, like mentality, and then the dog eat dog mentality, basically. Like the street code is very much different than what people abide by regularly. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the streets that if you're not in the streets, you're gonna look at them like, dang, that's a bad person, that's a bad dude. But in the streets, it's like it's no rules. So like, you gotta be that, or you're gonna be one of the ones at the bottom of the food chain. So like excuse me. Like, so yeah, it made me, it turned me into a monster. How about that?
I mean, that's a strong word to even say about yourself. Like, the person I became, the person I had to become to be able to live in this life. Because like you said, I can't be trusting. I can't let my guard down. I can't have this empathy and this care and concern, because that could get me harmed.
Right. Exactly. Like, you could easily lose your life and just not being able to like get outside your body, because I felt like that wasn't me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always been a person, I always enjoyed reading. I always enjoyed like educating myself. Like, I always been a smart dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, none of that really matters when you in the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, don't nobody care about how smart you are in these streets.
Definitely. Like, it made me to a point at first where, like, I felt myself dumbing myself down. Like, I gotta be on the playing field. Like, you know, in the streets, we ain't having no educated. We don't care about nothing else going on, but what's it like, you know what I'm saying, trap talk. So
yeah. And then I imagine it probably looks a little suspicious. Like, why, you so educated. Why are you out here? Now we looking at you like
right. And you become a target. Like in the streets, that people look at it like being sweet. Like, that dude, he really don't supposed to belong here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, so let's take him on out of here.
Right.
He's a soft target. You're gonna be easy.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So you putting the bullseye on you. Like, so you got to fit in. Like, and so you do a lot of things as far as character wise that like tweaking that you like, and then especially when you do it as long as I did, so you really think it's you. Like, pull away from that, it'd be one of the hardest things because now you got to re-identify with yourself.
Yeah. Well, find yourself again. Like you said, you kind of lose yourself in that. How long were you in the streets?
I say I was 19 then. Okay, I say at least good 10 years.
Oh, that's a lot. So all of your developmental kind of early young adults.
Exactly. Finding myself as a man.
Yes, this is your foundation.
Right. Exactly. So I'm learning how to be a man, but with the street rules. You know what I'm saying? Enforcing. It changed me a lot.
Yeah, from this young dude whose grandfather would give him this allowance to now this.
I remember this, like, my mom couldn't even believe. I remember my mom when I first in the streets and stuff, of course your mother and stuff be aware, she's trying to tell you not to and all that hard. So after a while, it just, okay, I know my son in the streets, but she just never could believe that I was what these people be saying. So it's like, my son, like, you know what I'm saying? So
the son she knew anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, mama used to call me and like, all right, these boys out here, they be having guns. Like, I remember telling her one day, I'm like, hey, mom, like, you be talking about all these people and all that, but mom, I'm the boogeyman.
I'm the people.
I'm them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of the ones people gotta worry about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it clicked in, like, all right. And it was like she really didn't know how that I went from this to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's a good segue too, like, because I'm sure as a mother, you love your children, you don't ever want them to be in harm's way. What was that conversation where you like, Mama, I am the boogeyman? What was this interaction from you taking care of your mama to now, okay, you taking care of me, but now I realize how you taking care of me. How did that affect y'all's relationship?
I mean, for me, it strained it because I try to keep it separate. So that means I can't be around as much. So I became like more of a phone call son because I ain't want that life to be in her.
In her,
Yeah, of course, every time I'm on the phone, my mom, please get back in school. You always been smart. You need to, like, you get what I'm saying? So she was definitely, she one of the reasons why I made the transition though. You know what I'm saying? Just finally getting in and just, you get what I'm saying? Because that part had been me for so long that I forgot that I was even capable of being a different person. So, so it was tough. Like, to even hear her crying, like, you know what I'm saying? We might lose a family member. She like, Tread. She called me Tread. She like, Tread. I'm telling you, you gotta get out these streets, man. These streets don't love nobody, man. You see, and to hear the hurt in it. So I started like just trying to pull away from that, like even have to hear, because I can hear the hurt and I can hear the concern. So, definitely, it's tough. Like, it's very tough, very tough.
And I hear that as a mom. This, did I do something? Did I, am I responsible for you going down this path? Could I have done something different? The guilt I think we experience as moms too.
And I feel like she went through a great deal of that. Like, trying to see like all the jail visits and all this, like, please, like, man, what's it like, trying to see what it is or why I keep taking this path that I'm on. Like, why you can't shake it. And, like, at the time, I really couldn't explain it to, because I was still in it. So
you were in the life.
As I can reflect back now, I can be like, this will happen. I can see this, but while you in it, it's so hard to see a starting point. Because, like I said, I stayed in the project, so it was always around me.
It was around you.
Yeah, so I knew how to have this win, that win. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna be me. Until
until it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're learning, you're picking up, because I hear you saying you're a smart young man, like you picking up and learning, even if you're not necessarily acting on any of this, you're seeing it.
Yeah, right. Of course.
So you're getting taught
right
as you move along, and you, like you said, might be cousins, mom's boyfriend, whatever. Like, I'm learning all of this information.
Exactly.
So at some point, one of the reasons why I'm gonna make this decision is because I already now have the tools to do it.
Exactly. Okay. And I hate she watching too, Ma, I love you. But, I remember being like 15, 16, and she was dating this dude when he was very notorious for being a street guy. And I remember him taking me under his wing, and he like, and it was him and his nephews and everything. He taking me under the wing, and he was like, hey, look, this year I'm gonna have you go with the track. It was the summer, I'm thinking I'm about to be a sophomore, going to my sophomore year, I want to say. And he's like, hey, look, I'm about to have you in the trap house. I'm about to show you how to do it. He's like, so this year, if you want some clothes, it's going to depend on you being able to do this. So it was taught and all that. But I remember after the last day of me being there, I think school started in like another week. My last day, and I made my little money after messing up 2-3 times, and he blessing me. But he ended up still buying all my school clothes. It was just a lesson, man. But he told me, he was like, exactly out of his mouth, he was like, hey man, you too smart for this. I'm gonna keep you away from this. But I just want to show you this to where if you ever had to carry the weight for the family, that you'll know how to. So it was always in front of me, and my family member always been immersed in it. So yeah, so it was very easy to get into it. It's just harder to get out of it.
And I hear this, like, we're trying to teach you how to take care of yourself in it, even though, like, we were kind of talking pre-show about sometimes we just don't know all our available options, but people are literally intending to try to help you.
Yeah,
like, this is what I have to give you. I can't give you wisdom and knowledge because I don't have that in this book area, but I can teach you how to hustle so that you'll know how to bring money and put it on your on your table.
Exactly. And then we good intentions, even though
not the best outcome, but the intention.
And then like everybody always was telling me like man, you a smart dude, man. You just ain't like, I don't see this life for you. And I was told that constantly.
Yeah. So, we see you doing better than this. We see you being able to.
Yeah, because I always like be different. Like, you can always tell like my intelligence stood out, like even amongst my peers, like even amongst being 15, 16 in a trap house, like the way I talk, my hobbies. I might be in a trap, pull out a book. Like,
I know they were looking at you like, what is,
man in the trap house, really,
what are you on?
Yeah. So yeah, I was always different. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like people can see it, like, and then as I got farther in it, like people can see it on me. Like it started, like, you know what I'm saying? My mama used to see me and be like she just used to, you know what I'm saying, want to pray for me every time she see me. And
we're gonna give you a good word now, please. We're gonna give you a good word to get you out them streets.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's very tolling. Like so much looking over your shoulder, never being like I feel like you can't live a normal life.
Like, well, you couldn't live a normal life because you already told me you had to be a totally different person to even be in the streets.
Definitely. Like I realized, like, just because I didn't want to be that person to lose my life for this. So I knew I had to adopt a whole, and then I've always been a very observant young man. So even if it wasn't taught to me verbally, like if I can see it, I'm very much of,
you'll pick it up.
Yeah. So I can imitate very easily. Like all I gotta do is see a couple of times and understand what it, and I'll be able to pick it up. And so the dude that I was able that had put me in there, like he was one of a kind, like when it came to the street. So a lot of his mannerisms and the way he like and carried himself, I was able to adopt. So it was a smooth transition.
It like, probably saved your life to be able to,
definitely made me very calculated. Like, in the way I move.
So, but people were able to see, like, some of us don't feel like we can do anything else. So I'm hearing that too. Like, I'm hearing some people say, like, this is all that I really feel like I can do. is
Okay.
being these streets. Like, I don't have any, you have other talents,
Mhm.
but some people feel like they don't have maybe necessarily any other talents.
And that's crazy to think like that, because like, even though their talents might not be what my talents is, I feel like we all have
We all
talent.
got a talent. Yeah.
We all have a talent.
Yeah.
Like, we all have a purpose, a passion. Like, and the biggest thing is about sitting back and like, you know what I'm saying, get a little self-development and self-enlightenment and try to find out what it is. That's the biggest thing, like not knowing that it's
that you have
like,
a talent. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, and that this talent can create other options.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have no choice but to do this.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
That'd be the biggest thing. Like,
but somebody would need to pour into them
definitely
for them to know, like, hey, there is another way.
Definitely. And like, and that's probably one of the biggest things for me, like not having that father figure after a certain point in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my granddad tried all the way up until he got old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's hard to keep track with grandson and all this. And, you get what I'm saying? So once it got to that point, like, it was nobody else. Like, my mom tried, like, but I'm her son. She loved me, like, so it was easy for her to take the soft approach.
Well, that's kind of how we built. Yeah,
you know
I'm gonna try to love it out of you.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never had that dude to be, oh no, like, you get what I'm saying. Oh, but you gonna do this? You gonna stay up there in school?
Yeah,
like, that I could have called and be like, oh, what you mean? You going to pick them up? Like, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and make me like, and just show me basically like that it's different parts to being a man. You needed
that. You needed that man to step in and say, no, there's a different way, and you're gonna do it this way.
Exactly. And even if it's not somebody that, like, and this, like, somebody I recommend to parents and stuff, like single mothers. Like, if you got somebody, like, you don't have to be a person you're in a relationship with. Find mentors, father figures that people that's having a positive impact, or people that have been through the stuff and be able to relate with the child and show them that, hey, it's other avenues, man. Let's get this skill, get that skill.
Yeah. Let's figure out what your talents are.
Basically. And let them know that it get greater later. Like, we always trying to chase the right now. And not like pre-plan. That's one of the biggest things. Like now I'm back in college, right?
That's awesome.
You get what I'm saying?
Like full circle. Now I'm back to the place where I left.
Right. Now, if I would have just stayed in, like, you get what I'm saying, I could have, you know what I'm saying? But that person made it. I mean,
it did. That was part of your path. That was part of your journey. That was part of your purpose for you to be in this moment right now, talking to other people, so they could do things different. So
definitely with God's plan. Like,
no doubt. It's the greater later for me.
It always be greater later, man. I stand on that concept, man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times we just want it now. Like, sometimes I get, man, I'm ready to be a world-class speaker, but you know, it takes time.
It takes time, takes practice, the skills, all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything comes overnight, stuff that we take for granted and let go all kind of ways.
And we lose it fast.
Exactly.
You get it quick, you lose it faster.
It feels better when you work hard.
Absolutely.
And actually put that work in. And that tend to be the stuff that lasts.
Yeah, those are those real lessons right there.
Right there. Or you get like me making the wrong decisions, and then like time
learn that way as well. That is a way. Absolutely. But I do feel like we learn more from our mistakes, honestly.
No, we do. Definitely.
Yeah. I know you haven't forgotten any of those lessons.
No, my failures is what made me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for those, I wouldn't have got ahead of the curve. I wouldn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Being incarcerated so much made me tap in a lot. Like, you get what I'm saying?
You gotta dig and pull some stuff out.
You ain't got nobody but you. It can be very, very hard.
That's a good segue. Because you mentioned this earlier. A lot of times people have glorified being incarcerated. We got all of these shows, and I think a lot of young people feel like that gives them some credibility. So talk about what was your experience in incarceration. Like you already mentioned, you was looking over your shoulder and hardened and parenting before going in. So I can only imagine what once you
like times 10, because now you know what I'm saying, first off, like, until you go, like, you know what I'm saying, you already hear all these stories, how you gotta keep to yourself. So you go in there with this, like, this whole, like, idea of it, like, oh man, like, I gotta become an animal. Like, it makes you have to be an animal, like, more so. Then you go in, and first night in, and people getting beat, and all, like, you get what I'm saying, this whole, this like environment, very cutthroat in there, like, you get what I'm saying, very similar to the streets, but you ain't got guns, like, you know what I'm saying?
So you literally have to protect yourself with whatever you can protect yourself with.
Exactly, and then you gotta think, you can kind of hide a little more on the streets, and when you're incarcerated, ain't no running, you there, so you got to deal with a lot of this violence and nonsense head on, and then you got men in there that miss their families, some of them poor, and ain't nobody sending them nothing, so you dealing with all this stuff, and it's a whole bunch of hormones going on, like, a lot of testosterone.
Now, a lot of testosterone.
You know what I'm saying? They got that, like, people, like, a lot of bolstering up, a lot of, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of rage, I imagine.
You know what I'm saying? Egos, you know what I'm saying? So it's a big adjustment, and then you don't want to get lost into that way of thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, like, because if you do that, it's gonna be hard to, like, the transition once you get out. Now you know what I'm saying? Like,
now you've become institutionalized. So now this is my normal instead of normal being my normal.
Right. You can't even have a conversation with people. You don't know how to talk. You so used to being secretive. You hold stuff, and then you tell parts of stuff. Like, it changes a lot of stuff, and then it rubs off on you without even knowing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get out, and you start, like, we got stuff called pockets and stuff. Now you're making pockets and all at home, and you acting, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you still acting like you're in there, like you don't have the freedoms, like you gotta hide stuff, and you gotta squander things, and you gotta.
Right. And the biggest thing for me was the impact it was having on my son. Who would have him to come, and he's not understanding. Like, I'm going to jail, and you know what I'm saying? You know, as years going on, like, you know, it's like, then to get to a point where they realize, okay, daddy in jail.
Like, now I got questions.
Like, daddy in jail, and he's not understanding, like, what come with it. He's 4 or 5, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, seeing that right there, that was one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, man, I got to get it together, man. I can't make this my life. Like,
I don't want to model this for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, this is the main reason why I got to change, because, like, who gonna be there for him? Like, he'll be out there just like me.
Yeah, without that father figure, letting other people influence him, picking up stuff.
Exactly. So, yeah, just locking in, honing in on what I needed to do. Once I got all that, like, it started to fall in place.
Okay, so mom was one, your son was one.
Yes. I actually got married.
Okay, you got married while you were incarcerated, or married in between?
Okay. Yeah. And one of my met up right, I want to say, like, after getting out of one of my stints, I might have been in just bumped into it, like, just fresh out, and, like, so, like, God's plan, you know what I'm saying? So, and I wouldn't say she so much pressured me into doing it, but just was the reminder to let me know that I had so many other skills. Like, you sold this and you sold that. Like, why you could be doing this instead of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So constantly had that in your ear, you build. Like, you start, like, yeah, that is me. You know what I'm saying? So just having all of these influences.
Yeah, somebody to encourage you, affirm you, see you as more than G Block.
Right. And then it helped that she wasn't from Columbus, so it's not somebody that already know my background, my resume. So it ain't somebody that's caught up in this. Like, I'm with women that like that person. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't have to put, you know what I'm saying? I ain't have to be nobody but the person I know myself.
Yeah. You could get back to that person.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it. Yeah. It was easy to go back to that. Like, she loved I know how to read and all this stuff, and you know what I'm saying? So definitely.
So that support was a big turning point for you, because everybody needs a why, right? So the thing that gets us either on track or allows us to be able to keep moving is to have that why. Why am I doing this? And she became part of that why.
Right. And then if I was to add one more, I didn't witness, but I probably like 2 minutes to a scene where my cousin was murdered. And he was one of the ones that was in the streets like me, and I thought I was, you know what I'm saying, the boogeyman, but he, you know what I'm saying, he was one of them guys that put in all kind of work. You know what I'm saying, people didn't mess with him. So to see somebody that you feel like untouchable
is untouchable.
And see and actually be like, you know what I'm saying, like it threw me in a very depressed state. You know what I'm saying, feeling like, and then I think the same year I hadn't lost like 4 or 5 homeboys, like a second month after month, like, you know what I'm saying, like violence, like it was so crazy that it, like, you get what I'm saying, like I remember just shelling up, like, you know what I'm saying, and I just got to a breaking point, you know what I'm saying, like a spiritual awakening, and then I'm like, man, I got to find another way to make it work. And then even once I figured that out, it was hard. Like I remember being like 2 years from not messing with the streets to still acting paranoid and still looking on my shoulder, because people don't know that I stopped being in the streets. People don't know that. So that I'm working now. All this ain't like I made a big announcement or something. So these same people still G Block Pookie. So people I have to like watch out for. I'm still, you know what I'm saying,
ducking and dodging, still moving.
Definitely. Definitely hard to deal with. Like it took a lot. Like, and then it's so easy to go back. Like one thing might go wrong, and you're like, man, like, you get what I'm saying, especially on the financial tip. Like,
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what is one of those kind of lingering when you first get out issues? Like, is it trying to get employment?
Definitely the biggest things. Background checks can hinder you a lot. And then by the grace of God, like all my felony charges, like I be in court, but they get reduced to like possession of firearms and all these crimes and stuff. Like, so they like are the charges that you was initially charged with be showing. Like, say you come out on bond or anything in the pending charges, like it made it very hard. And then like the street, like this was still on me. So going to interviews, going to people, that's all they see. Like,
I know they looking at you like you.
I remember being in interviews.
Fresh.
I remember being in interviews and people just looking at my tattoos on my neck. Like I'm already.
They can't even focus on nothing you saying. They just like
know in my head.
Like okay, well I'm not gonna get this job.
Right. And then relationships, like, you know what I'm saying. Once you try to make this and you're trying to get involved with people and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying. This the stuff that they be like. People don't want to deal with that. They don't want no
that's not really a big selling point. Like, oh yeah, I spent about time 10 years on the street.
Unless you want a trap queen. I don't want.
No, if you're trying to get out of that life, then like you said, you don't, because it's so easy to get pulled back in.
Right, exactly.
Because I know I could be making this quick money instead of over here struggling trying to get this job. Like, so that's temptation. So I'm trying to, I need somebody to see me again. I need to get back to me. I don't need somebody to see the D Block Pookie. I need somebody to be able to see Artrez. So
most definitely. And that's why I was with it. Like, so like the stereotypes, like saying that you come from this and like backgrounds, it definitely makes it hard, man. Like our choices matter. Like every choice definitely matters. Like it can hinder. Like, you get what I'm saying. I wouldn't say it to stop, but it definitely makes it harder.
It made it harder. How long do you feel like it took you to really be able to get back acclimated and get back to yourself? Or are you still working on that?
Nah. See, I'm more freer than I have ever been.
Okay.
I can't say that, but
it's the freedom for me.
Yeah, definitely free. Like I can say I can go everywhere now. Like
and feel comfortable.
Right. Because people know what I'm on. And like especially I'm trying to use every platform I can. Spread knowledge about where I came from. So the word got out. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, but prior to that, man, it was a work in progress.
Okay.
Like, it definitely was. I had people that know me for that. Can't believe that I'm not doing that no more.
Like, are you running a game out here? Like, you trying to make us think you?
Yeah, like, man, what you got going on? What you got up your street? I can't. Like, I done had homeboy like a month, 2 months ago, and just we in the barbershop, he just like, boy, I just can't believe you changed. Like, boy, that, you, like, but we really changed. Like, and it'd be baffling to him, like, just to see where I come from. So, of course, the people that's not in my inner circle that don't know that was going on, it took them way longer to see the change and to see that, hey, look, I'm getting away from this. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't always here where I was trying to talk about it, like, you know what I'm saying? Or make a change out here or reach the community. So I was at a point where, you know what I'm saying, don't nobody know. They're gonna assume that you still like,
Right.
it wasn't like I was one of the ones moved like a ghost anyway. So every time I pop up, they thinking I'm still on the same thing. And that comes with all the same, you know what I'm saying, hurdles and all the same having to look over my shoulder type stuff.
Okay.
And that's the biggest thing, man.
Yeah.
Like fear, like I've been in the streets, man. I done had dudes try to rob me and I got my child in my arms. Like, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that,
Yeah.
that definitely made that transition a little harder. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was all worth it once I got here.
Once you got on the other side, but it sounds like it took some years to really be able to
I
get there.
say few, 2, 3, like easy. They might be selling it short, like you know what I'm saying. But it definitely, like every year that went by was like I done been like trumped all kind of milestones. So definitely. It's something that's always a work in progress. Like even to this day, like I mean, I don't have to worry about necessarily the stuff that comes with it, but just to get people to understand that I really changed like this. Sometimes don't be included just because what they know me for.
Right.
What I'm towards for. So yeah, definitely.
So getting back to the gifts and talents part, right? Because you, as you said, you don't have to let what happened to you define you.
Right.
You are now using those things, all of these experiences, everything you learned, you and Damien Williams, to create Soak the Game.
Yes,
so tell us about Soak the Game.
Of course. Well, I'm gonna tell you about how it started, and I just run with it a little bit.
Okay.
Me and Dame, like, because we both big on spiritual, like self-enlightenment, finding ourselves. So me and him used to have a lot of conversations about psychology and the way the brain works. You know what I'm saying? Like, metaphysics, like just stuff like a lot to do with self-development. So, just the stuff that the gyms that me and him had been trading, like he had been trying to start a clothing line. So I'm like, okay, bro, I had gave him I like, man, you need to do this, man. Next time you talk about it, you better have this. And so next time I talked to him, he had it going on. And the stuff that he used and incorporated in the clothing line, which is a part of the Soak Gang got going on with our clothing, he was introducing like meaningful stuff, like like being different and embracing being different, self-enlightenment and just stuff like that. And just how he had put it together, you know what I'm saying? It lit the light bulb and I was at a point where I'm trying to find, like, man, like, you know what I'm saying, I had a good job and all that at the time, but I'm like, man, I'm ready to get my passion going, like something I'm really, like, you know what I'm saying. I had been coaching football at the time, so I'm like, man, I love these kids. And so I'm reading the stuff and I'm like, bro, I got it, man. We about to take it to a big scale. We ain't gonna just mess with these clothing, but we're gonna turn that and make it a little bigger. So we, you know what I'm saying, me and him went talking back and forth and it just clicked. So so since, man, we just been Soak the Game, we've been all about just pushing self-development, self-enlightenment, like getting used to try to, like, because that's the biggest thing. Like you were saying, like people feel like they ain't got options. Like, so the only way you're gonna figure that out is people pouring into you and you pouring into yourself. Like
absolutely
getting to yourself, you know what I'm saying? Learn how your mind thinks, what you like to do, what excites you, get that passion. So once I was able to get that myself, it was easy for me to just take what I learned and all my experience and everything. And then Damon just been on a mission, man, just to get out here and prompt change. We want to leave a legacy. We want to be remembered for actually doing the right thing and changing kids' lives. So man, we all in the community with everything. Like, you call my phone, anything to do with these kids, our youth, families, I'm there for it. If I can help give some words, I'm with it. And him the same thing. And like on the back end of the business aspect, we got the clothing going on and stuff, but that was just more so, just for merch behind the movement. But yeah,
well, you gotta bring some coins in too. So we
exactly,
do both.
exactly, and that's where we at with that.
Yeah.
So but man, our sole purpose is just trying to touch people and prompt change any way we can. Like just to get people to different, like rewire their thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get them that growth mindset.
Well, and one of my church members was like, "Oh, we need to get him to come talk to the kids." So you already got a following ready for you. For parents who have a little Artrez Coppins, for uncles and aunties, for church members, for people who are trying to figure out, like what can I do? Because I heard you say you need somebody to invest in you is one thing for certain, to see you, to see your talents, to show you.
Right.
What advice would you give people when they see, because we see it, right? We see our kids starting to move a little different. What advice would you give people who are trying to help our young people when they start veering?
Okay. Yeah. I say the big thing, and because it's no one thing, but one of the biggest things to me is don't give up on it. Stay on. Like be that aggravating parent. Be that aggravating person. Be that bug in the ear, because like they might hate you or seem like they hate you in the moment, but they'll thank you so much in the long run. So just stay in their ear. Be that person who knows a parent. Like don't be so trusting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't give them so much freedom. Like, give them their freedom. Don't smuggle them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let them be a kid, but at the same time, hold them to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and be in their life. Be supportive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk to them. Ask them questions about what they see themselves doing, what they like is. Let them be different, and make sure you tell them to embrace being different. That's the biggest thing, man. We want to be like our peers. Like, you know what I'm saying? We want to be the cool person, but the cooler person always been the person that's themselves. And it took me a while to realize
that's a whole word.
You know what I'm saying? That's always the cooler person. That person that's himself and ain't being like nobody but him. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we human, so we gonna have similarities, but no one is like all the way alike. So you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Embrace being different and all. They like let them know it's all right, and stand behind them no matter what they're doing. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's as long as it's positive. Like, of course we want to keep it positive, but they like kids need it. Like they need to know that they parents behind them, and they invested in trying to make sure their future is bright. And then like mentors, like that is very important. Like take them to these events, talk to these, let them see what can go wrong, and like it could be very, very pivotal moment for their life. I definitely would say that.
And I do recognize that we all, like, we have different approaches. Like you said, mom was caring, loving, supportive, praying for you. And you also needed somebody that was going to get in your tail a little bit and be like, no.
Gotta balance. It's all about balance. Balance. Even if you're going to be that mother and you doing it alone, just try to have balance. You always want to put balance, because you can't just be all the way one way too. You run them to making a bad decision. And the biggest thing, one of the biggest things too, I don't know how I left this out, their peers, people they hang with. That is one of the biggest things.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's like who you hang with and stuff, like all that matters. Like they're gonna be just like who they hang with. So they outcast, like, definitely. Like, and you their parents, like, so you in control of that. Like, no matter what they say, like, run them kids away. It's gonna pay off in the long run. If not, it could be one of the things like that very instrumental on like leading them astray. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my friends are all, when I went streets, guess what? They was already in the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they were easy to follow suit.
Yeah, because we all in it together now.
Right. So the people they hang with, that's very important. They circle, they in a circle. Like, you got to have the right people around. Like, show them that it's more out here. Like, you don't hear parents telling their kids that they can be doctors and all this and stuff no more. Like, let them know all that's possible, but it's just gonna take hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like, just having a blueprint is one of the biggest things. Right.
You know, I really like that. I like, because you have said like some of our kids are different, but they don't
Mhm.
feel like it's okay for them to be different. It's
Right.
like I can't be the smart one. That's not
Mhm.
cool. Or I can't be
Yeah,
the one
right.
that's like I'm talking about being a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is I may be,
Mhm.
a writer or whatever my talent may be. If I'm not around other people
Mhm.
who I'm seeing nurture that talent or doing that talent, then I'm going to feel like I need to hide it. Like you said, I need
Mhm.
to,
Right,
if
right.
I'm living this separate life as a kid, I got this passion, but I can't really express it because
Mhm.
I'm worried about how it's going to be looked at. So I need to be around other folks
Most definitely. Most definitely.
where I can have that passion and be accepted, because we all want to be accepted. We
Of
know
course.
there's that
Of course.
every kid,
Mhm.
every adult, I'm not even going
Yeah,
to
I
say
was just
every
about to
kid,
say every person,
every
everybody.
person,
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
wants to
Yeah.
be accepted. So if we can make sure that peer group are
Right.
people that are doing the things that I want to nurture in my kid, then I'm more likely to get this kid to go this positive route than over
Exactly.
here with the kids
Exactly.
who are,
Exactly.
I
So,
appreciate you
so
empowering parents, because sometimes we just
yeah.
don't know. We out here like, I don't know.
Right, right,
Can I
right,
just
right.
lock them in the closet?
Right, right, right. And it's not teaching them nothing. Like
Hmm.
at the same time, like they know they did something wrong, but they don't know no other way.
Right,
Be the biggest
right.
thing. Like, just guard it. Like
Yeah,
we control that though. We as parents,
yeah,
we control that.
yeah.
Stick them in so much they can't do nothing. Like,
You say you ain't got time. You ain't got time.
at all. Like all
You
my
got
kids,
practice for something.
yeah,
Debate
all the
team,
time. No breaks.
music, something.
No breaks. No
Yeah.
breaks. Right.
But you say you can break when you sleep.
Yep. 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 Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it'll pay off though.
Yeah. But seriously, getting them in, like you said, finding other ways. So I have to expose you to different things so that you can
Mm,
see the other
exactly.
ways.
Exactly. That's big.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like don't hold them just because you didn't have it necessarily
Hmm.
growing up or you
Yeah.
weren't exposed to them.
Hmm.
And a lot of times we don't know what to show them, but you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Hmm.
So yeah, like I feel like just always try different methods. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like no child's gonna this method might not work with this child,
Right.
but it
Right.
worked with your second oldest. Like you get what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
each child you gotta parent different.
Mm. Be
Different
flexible.
things gonna stick. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But it's about just trying, like
Hmm.
different placements.
Yeah.
Like just don't give up though.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest
Don't
thing.
give up. Yeah.
Definitely don't give up.
Speaking of not giving up, I know you got some other endeavors out here. So I want to make sure we plug all of the things that
Right,
you are
right.
doing and involved in. So tell us what else you got going on.
I got a seminar coming up. I'm gonna be talking to the youth. It's September 3rd. And first off, go to my Facebook page, Soak the Game. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on there and it'll keep you updated. You know what I'm saying? All the events me and my best friend / business partner Damien got going on. And that'll keep you in the loop. And then like, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of mentoring going on with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we love the kids. So if you ever need somebody to reach out, talk to, I'd be glad to do it, without a
So
doubt.
I dropped that in there again for
Okay.
people because I want
Sure.
everybody to be able to go ahead and like that page.
Right.
Go ahead and follow. There's good work to be done. Like you said, a lot of different ways. This is a way
Right. Right.
that,
Right.
this exposure to someone who has made those mistakes.
Right.
So, sometimes if we can't see where we're going, it's hard to get there.
Exactly.
So
Right.
let me show you
Mhm.
what this
Mhm.
looks like when you take
Right.
this
Right.
road versus
Right.
if you take this other road. I've been both, and I can tell you how they both turn out. And so
Mhm.
sometimes that information can be really helpful to a child because
Definitely.
they can relate to
Mhm.
that. They can look at you and they can say, okay, you real.
Mhm. Oh, he really done went through this. And then,
Right.
that can be the difference sometimes.
It can be a difference.
Because sometimes you're not gonna hear from the
Mm.
dude that's like ain't been through it, the dude over
Mhm.
there. Like you just know I hate to throw the nerd word around, but you just look like a nerd, and you know what I'm saying? They like kids, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you get somebody that's more to the people they're trying to imitate, like on the
Yeah.
rap videos and all
Right.
this and stuff. And they telling them, oh, you can be positive and all this. It's
Mhm.
just something new. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? For their ear, like, you know what I'm saying? So we try every aspect, like,
Mhm.
any way we can.
Yeah. Yeah, the church, the school organizations,
Every-
the people that's been through it, the keep you so busy
Right.
that you
Yeah.
don't have a lot. Make sure your friend group is
So all the above.
all of the above. That is the
All
answer.
the above.
The answer
All
is
the
G,
above.
all of the above.
It's always
Yeah.
because as kids keep progressing and get older, they don't
Yeah.
like you're gonna have to keep adapting and being able to be flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Are there any other closing words? You've given a lot. I appreciate you so much. Are there any other closing words that you
No, ma'am. I appreciate
want to drop?
No, ma'am. I appreciate your time. I'm honored to be here too. Thank you again.
Oh, you are so very welcome. Everybody just, give it up for my guest, Mr. Artrez Coppins, who has just been very honest and transparent. You didn't have to give us any of that, and you gave us all of that. Shout out to your mom that's watching. And the fact that she planted some seeds and those seeds grew. We always come back, right? To the place where we were planted. And so she kept on nurturing you, praying for you. I know that was a praying woman to get you back. And she did. So shout out to her, to your partner, Damien Williams, for you all in Soak the Game. Everybody support Soak the Game. We want to make sure we're always telling people, oh, you can do stuff, but then we don't support them when they actually get out there and do stuff. So you all make sure that you go like the page, support these endeavors. And if he has told you, you heard it here. If you need him, then just get in touch with them, and he is happy to come and talk with your young people anytime. So you all know you can catch all episodes of Tea Time with Dr. Tarver on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all your favorite listening platforms, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music. We have a lot of more episodes coming up this month. Next Tuesday on the 16th, we're going to be getting into the conversation, No Choice, No Voice, Reproductive Rights. On the 23rd, the conversation will be the children COVID left behind. And on the 30th, the conversation will be the forever heartbreak of losing a child. Thank you all for joining. AD, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you so much for giving up your time and your talents to us, and everybody be well.